Chronicles 18, First Chronicles 16:18 through 25. Okay. I'll give you the land of Canaan as your inheritance. This is referring to Israel. Israel, at the time of this writing, have already been promised the land of Israel. But it's referring, as you see earlier, back to the covenant given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which was always, I'll give it to you, because they had not yet acquired. The only property owned during the lifetime of Abraham in the land of Canaan was the cave which he buried his wife, which he bought. He did not inherit the land yet. His descendants would, and at the time of David, they'd finally conquer, because of David's obedience to God, they'd finally conquer what they were destined to conquer the whole time. And that was their inheritance. As Christians, our inheritance isn't the land of Canaan. Our inheritance is to be eternally with Christ. When Israel was few in number, oh so few, merely strangers in the promised land. There was a time, it was just Abraham and his number. He rounds up 40 men, but still, compared to what they would be, 40 is a small number. We see under 100 people going, we see under 100 when they go to Egypt. But when they come out of Egypt, we see 100 times 100. We usually see 100,000, if not millions, of people coming out. At one point, they were so scared the Egyptians were, so they started killing them. That plan did not work because they would not kill them. So God ended up sparing those. His people were so vast in number, great numbers. But during the time of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, there were strangers in the land. They did not belong there. There was what is called squatting on the land, which means they went from place to place, never living in a place that was their own, because they did not have it. Because you did not live in a tomb. You did not live near the tomb. You just didn't do it. Okay, verse 20. When they wandered from country to country, from one kingdom to another. Now this again is referring to their time there. There was different people in Canaan. There was the Philistines, you had this group over here, you had all these kingdoms over in Canaan prior to Israel taking it over. You had some after that, but prior to them taking it over, you had all these kingdoms. And they kept wandering from place to place. We see how Abraham journeyed. We see how Isaac journeyed some in his early days, settled in one spot. And Jacob journeyed from certain places. He never really stayed in one place until when they started getting older, where they dwelled in that area. But it was never really theirs. It was someone else's kingdom. It was someone else's country. It was someone else's land. God didn't let anyone harm them. Even kings were killed who sought to hurt them. We see the story of Abraham and Lot, how Lot's taken into captivity, and Abraham goes rescues him. God allows Abraham to win the war, win the battle. We see how Abraham upsets the king of Egypt by lying to him and letting his wife marry him. They got to kill him, but God protected Abraham and his family, his wife. Even though Abraham wronged himself, put himself in harm's way, God still protected him. Don't harm my chosen people, he declared. These are my prophets, touch them not. Now, this isn't saying every Jew is called to be a prophet of God. It's saying that those who have faith in God are set apart to do the works He's called them to do. Some are called to be speakers. To prophesy isn't necessarily predict the future. Isn't necessarily give messages of the future. To prophesy is to proclaim the message the Lord has given you. Sometimes it should always be in line with Scripture. Do not harm my chosen people, he declared. These are my prophets. Touch them not. You know, we're not to stand in the path of what God has called others to do. We may state our opinion on it. We need to realize it's their opinion. We may tell them the word. Through Scripture, they need to listen to the Scripture. But ultimately, whether we agree with it or not, they have to do what God has them to do. What God has them do will never contradict the Scriptures. Sing to the Lord, O earth. Declare each day that He is the one who saves. Now, Jesus, in its original Hebrew, means the Lord's salvation. And that's what Jesus came to do. He came to save. He is the one who saves. He's the one we should sing about. He's the one we should make declarations about. Give Him the praise. Because it's by Him we are all who called by Him to be saved. No one's going to be saved apart from Him. It's just not going to happen. Verse 24. Show His glory to the nations. Tell everyone about His miracles. You know, as Christians, we got the Great Commission to proclaim the good news. They may argue Scripture, but we've got a testimony of how Christ brought us to Him. We may not look at this as a miracle, but He took a sinner and made him righteous. It's a miracle. And His glory should be displayed in our lives. Verse 25. For the Lord is great and should be highly praised. He is to be held in awe above all gods. Now, this is not encouraging pagan worship. Scripture would have never did that. The Lord needs to be praised. What it's saying is, you see how those people of the world serve their gods. You're serving the true God. The passion they show should be nothing compared to the passion you show to the true God. They're serving their little gods over there by doing this. By being committed for a time. The time you need to be committed to the Lord is now. Always. Allow your life to show praise. Just not a moment like they do. Not a time like they do, but always. I believe it's comparing the way the false those of the world worship to the way we should. We have something truly to praise over. They don't. People should be able to see that.